In this video, we're going to be seeing if we can do a 2-tower chimps with the biggest one and the carpenter spikes. Neither of these towers you can place down on round 6, but on round 7 with a bit more starting money, I think we'll be able to do just that. The most prominent thing we need to look out for in this entire run are rounds which solely dedicate the spike storm before it gets to carpenter spikes when it comes to camo balloons, because this guy right here won't be able to do anything against camo balloons, so we really need to support our carpenter spikes whenever we can with the stuns of the top half mortar, except when it comes to camos, and therefore we're just gonna have to just wing it. Just hope and pray these mortars will land on the balloons themselves rather than just firing just slightly too far off to the side or down or up and then costing us the entire run. Blue balloons don't stand a chance. How close are we to a spike factory? Here we go. So I want you over here, having the chance of deploying spikes over here, but while also over here as well. Going to get bigger stacks soon, round 15. The introduction of pink balloons to the game. No, thank you. Until I'm comfortable with our spike factory over here, we're not going to actually be upgrading our mortar anytime soon. Once we get like 220, most likely we'll start upgrading this, because we need to think about round 40 at some point with the Moab, and our little artillery over here is not going to exactly do a whole lot against Moabs. Well, the biggest one will be able to do something, but not top half mortar. Top half mortar is mainly for ceramics, which is also another reason why we got it, because this really struggles against ceramics, this really struggles against Moabs, and also camos. Even faster production, just in time for round 24 with the first camo of the day. Round 25, regrow yellow balloons, the first regrows of the day. Ninja Kiwi knows which particular balloons are the most dangerous ones in order to send off against us. Yellow balloons are by statistically the most scariest of all balloons. That's not me saying it, that's well, everyone's saying it. And when I say everyone, I mean nobody. I just happen to encounter yellow balloons as my most effective way of dying in this game. Round 28, lead balloons over here. Perhaps we should just settle with 120 if we know we can just settle with the lead balloons with just our mortar here, but you may never know. Also, round 59 is a thing and DDTs are a thing, so it's always best to get the white hot spikes. You see these upgrades here on this mortar? Well, I hope to at some day be able to do a 2 megapops with a base mortar, and if you'd like to see me do that, then let us hit 10,000 subscribers as our special video by clicking that subscribe button, but also liking and commenting the video as well. It helps go a long way. And also use my creator code Flare Balloons whenever you are shopping within the store. You know the channel name, those are the exact characters that you put in. Round 36, we have to be a little bit careful with these camo regrow greens, but so far so good here. Yeah, we've got shell shock just so it provides that little bit of stun. And even though the shockwave is able to pop black balloons, zebra balloons, you never really see that until you go to the big one. Not really an effective means of damage. Yes, if it had camera section, it can damage DDTs, but I just prefer this when it had the normal damage type. But alas, that is wishful thinking, and we may never see the return of the normal damage type, the big one, because it also affected the biggest one as well, even though the description of update, one of the late 30 updates says the big one's damage type was changed from normal to explosion, not the biggest one as well, but I presume Ninja Kiwi thought that carried on to other people, or the other upgrades, so therefore it wasn't needed within the patch notes of that particular update. Spike Storm up and running, which means that we now have a fighting chance of being able to do this scenario. I'm just going to need to use it. Why are there always so many zebra balloons within these 40s rounds? Or so many black balloons within the 30s and stuff like that? It's almost like the game is initially trying to plague us. Okay, that's going to be a little bit on the tricky side. Hopefully we can actually get through this round without dying. But look at that. Okay, that's just about it. Those 2 spikes at the back, they're saved our bacon. Oh, great. We lost to a yellow balloon. Do you see what I mean? That they are the deadliest balloons of them all. Okay, let's just send out a spike storm to deal with those ceramics. If we can get the mortars to pop the most amount of non-camo balloons, that just leaves the spike storm with the camo balloons, then that'll be very good for our endeavors. Just because of the fact that we need as many spike powers as we possibly can in order to get through these scenarios. The big one. Carpet of spikes. The big one. We'll see how we go along, actually. I am thinking possibly for that additional balloon stone, we get the big one, actually. May live to regret this, but hey-ho. Round 47 could be a big problem, so I'm thinking that we use our spike storm as early on in the round as possible. Perhaps that wasn't it, just so that we then be able to deal with the rest of these. I was kind of hoping that a camo would have slipped through and meet its way up to the other side over here, just so that we have a little bit more time for for Spike Storm to regenerate its ability, but alas. Round 49, ceramics no problem. What about the rest of these? Hopefully the regrows won't provide us issues, but shockwave damage, I kind of wish that you weren't there actually. Because you're doing 1 damage to the rainbows, which means they go down to zebras, which means we cannot pop them at all. Okay, Moab here. Now round 59. So it's going to be very tricky because of all of these ceramics. Hopefully that does it. Hopefully. Yeah, that does it. A little bit later on we'll have problems, which is why we need cover the spikes as soon as possible. Perhaps just keeping this at shell shock would have been better. Round 53, another round heavily consisting of camo balloons. Isn't that just joyful to say the absolute least? Can we go through this with those Moabs shoot up those spikes over there? So definitely need a spike storm throwout when it comes to this whole scenario here. It's just popping the Moabs. That's the thing that I'm most annoyed with, is that the Moabs are just taking up all of the... Okay, that's good actually. Taking up all the spike tiers. Go away, Moabs! Right. Camo rainbows, yeah. Can we do this round? Hopefully we can. Or some red balloons at the back here, which is pretty promising. This gives our ability a little bit more time to grow back, get back. Sometimes having a loose red balloon is very cool if you're ability reliant. We do have camo lead balloons on the next round, which is also paired up with ceramics, so that's not going to be a hugely easy round to say the least. We need to wait until all of these have come out, and then hopefully we've got enough ammo in the tank to be able to get through all this. Oh, nice! A few camo blues left. Excellent. Our ability shall come back. Although, do we even need it for this round? No, I'm going to hold on to it because of camo zebras. Anybody? Anybody want a camo zebra? I guess not. Don't want it. Don't want them. Do we save the ability again? Or do we try and do this? I think we can do this. It's just trying to get through all this. Oh gosh, the ceramics are the main priority. There we go. I thought that round was going to be much scarier than what it was. Okay, round 62. A bunch of spaced out Moabs. A lot of purple balloons, which in a lot of runs is absolutely abysmal. Fortified Moabs. Oh gosh, these rainbow regrows are going to something else. Okay, this is actually one of the only rounds which is a bit more tolerable because the big one's able to deal with all these ceramics here. Don't worry about those loose balloons. Do not worry about them. We can deal with those. It's just when we get to blacks and zebras, this is when it's most annoying because... Excuse me? Never ever underestimate the power of surprise. It may surprise you in the... I have no words. The jokes write themselves. Well, I thought round 63 wasn't going to be a huge issue because the big one would be able to deal with all these ceramics, but I guess that's not going to be the case because of the stragglers. Yeah. Having the main focal point of the cursor over the groups of ceramics would be better than the shockwave always having priority for some odd reason. Round 64, hopefully done and dusted. Put the little cursor over here just so it temporarily stuns the fortified ceramics. And there we go, there's that round done and dusted. 9k away from carpenter spikes and then our camo issues will be done and dusted. Ceramics, then a few Moabs, and then a few BFBs after that. Not huge excited about these BFBs, not gonna lie. We're not going to buy the biggest one just yet because camo balloons, they are a big old threat here, and I don't think we can really solo round 78 with just a spike storm. I'm pretty sure somebody out there would have been able to lay down a spike storm ability perfectly so it deals with every single camo ceramic on round 78. I don't want to be one to try and test that. I'm not good enough at this game. Okay, this is a round in which I'm quite afraid of because of these regrow fortified ceramics here. Can we do this? It's looking close, but I'm irritated by that site there. It's going to take some placement perfection when it comes to all this, but then again, they're just going to regrow, aren't they? They're just going to regrow. Of everything, really? A single camera regrow red? That does it. Just need a little bit of microing with the mortar. Okay, camo white balloons. We should be able to get through this, to be honest. Hopefully that wasn't too late of a use there. And we now have the carpet of spikes. You know what we're doing next when it comes to financial investments. The same adversary as round 71 was, I think it was, with all of the fortified camo regrow ceramics, but we now have many more spikes at our disposal. And I think the PS of all these spikes goes up as well, or at the very least with the passive chuck out of spikes. Round 76, it's up to you, the big one, but also carpet spikes is very good against them as well, but the big one is the more preferable choice when it comes to trying to deal with everything here. In the masses, that is not a Moab of some kind, or also almost said fortified. I suppose that's also the case as well. Round 78, camo, ceramics, they both begin with C, okay? Moab goes down to BFBs. And the rest of the round, I don't know where my speech is today. Usually my speech is very bad, but for some odd reason this video is much worse. Like, just every single time I talk, I muck up a word. Not really much to see here because of the fact that we have two excellent towers against regrow rainbows on this round. Just this one fortified BFB left, now the ZMG of the day. The most fearsome one at times because you have the least amount of money to prepare for it, whereas once later on you have more than enough money to prepare for them. Also getting used to my new hearing aids, which I swear at times it makes my tinnitus sound louder. Even though my hearing is now better, my tinnitus is also more noticeable as well. Me no like it when that is the case. With that being said, we are now within the territory of buying the biggest one. A tower which has 0 two-tower CHIMPS records. Just because it can't do jack against DDTs, can't do jack against camo balloons, and that is why it doesn't have a single record. I think the closest it could ever become is if it retained its normal damage type, there has to be update after where the Ultra Boost has a duration buff on tier 5 towers. But alas, that is still not a thing, and I think even with that you require Striker Jones for some additional damage and attack speed shenanigans. Round 85. Yeah, I like the stun from the biggest one. It just gives us a bit more time to deploy down more spike piles and passive carpenter spike piles as well. So sometimes damage is not the thing that you're always looking for, but it's some utility like stuns. And if you know that when you go ultra late game, so let's say going to the 200s, the 300s, and the 400s, etc., you'll notice that any kind of non-damage utility, such as stun, such as being glued, such as being frozen, the effectiveness of those drop as the rounds progress. Not just the fact that, well, the balloons go faster, which is natural, but any kind of non-damaging statuses also have their effectiveness drop as well. Ninja Q's way of saying, hey, you're going a little bit too far into the game, perhaps it's time for you to game, set, and match. I know you're on like round 600 or so, but honestly, how the hell could you keep on popping those balloons when round 600 fortified bats have like millions of HP? Round 89, keep them held in place without the biggest one. Round 90. So if the mortar was a bit cheaper and you were able to afford it on round 6, then there would actually be some possibilities with the biggest one. A Dartling gunner could also be possible, but I don't really fancy a scenario where the Mad is the only thing that can pop camo balloons. Like, the only reason why the Glaive Lord and the Mad work so well is because its orbiting glaives are able to affect fortified camo ceramics, which is something in which the Mad is absolutely crap against. It's only really good against metal class balloons and only against metal class balloons, whereas this does moderate damage, but the only downside, it doesn't detect camo balloons. Round 93, and I don't even think that the biggest one on balloon incineration would work, because until you get to balloon incineration you have no black popping potential. And no, you can't really state that the big one can do that. Oh yeah, and also the fact that there's also camo blacks and camo zebras. Oh no, you have signal flare, which by the way is a really weird thing. How the hell can signal flare decamify DDTs, black balloons, zebra balloons, and embrittlement is not able to decamify white balloons or zebra balloons? How does that make sense? Because signal flare can't pop black balloons, zebra balloons, DDTs, whatnot, without some external support. But when it comes to decamify, it can still do that. But the embrittlement has like a damage type which doesn't enable it to pop white balloons or frozen balloons. And yeah, it's just a really weird interaction. Like, why does one tower have this benefit but not others? Shimmer, for example, is able to, I don't know, remove the camo property of purple balloons, but yet the embrittlement cannot do that against camo whites. It's like you're giving the ice tower an inherent disadvantage against other decamifying aspects. Oh heck, the middle path ninja can decamify DDTs despite the fact that it can't damage them. I don't like to rant or make it sound like a rant, but it's just more or less an observation, which is just what it really is. An observation, like one decamifying method is able to decamify a certain kind of balloon in which it can't actually damage, but then there's another that can't really do anything with camo white balloons because of the fact that it can't actually do anything against them. Even though it can decamify balloons, but it just can't decamify the correct kind of balloon which it really struggles against, which would be very beneficial, especially in a two-tower chimp scenario, especially when people were able to do like camo white solo, which is something I've never been able to fathom out myself. Round 98. The stuns from the biggest one are prevailing really well, and also dealing with these ceramics. I love this tower. It's one of my favorite towers in the entire game. The biggest one. And there goes round 98. Round 99 upcoming. And just left these fortified DETs. Not to worry, the carbon slice can settle that. And it's just left with user. Or we could actually get a million pops each with both of these towers if I am looking at this at the correct angle. Perhaps when it comes to ceramic bullets, we'll be able to do that. Oh, just about. So that is a hypothetical 2-tower chimps if you're able to put down a mortar or a spike factory on round 6. By starting on round 7, and we have 830 money, because the amount of money that you would make on round 6 plus the end of round bonus will be able to lead you up to 813 on round 7. So there you go, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this little video that I have created here. It's probably not even that little because of all the times we've failed on certain rounds. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and definitely the cross-pathing of the spike factory matters, but probably optional when it comes to the biggest one. But I use it more or less for the stun utility rather than having more damage with the Bernie stuff upgrade, which as you progress through the top path mortar, the Bernie stuff becomes more powerful. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone, and be sure to look out for the collection event that's going on at the moment. As you can tell, I've run out of Mortar Monkeys. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, people.